Thank you everyone, thank you so much. So today we are going to read some shloka from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12. Okay, chapter 12 of Bhagavad Gita is known as Bhakti Yoga. Okay, so Bhakti means devotion and yoga means to unite with, right? So Bhakti Yoga means union with Krishna through devotion. So there are various types of yoga. One is called as Karma Yoga, another is called as Jnana Yoga. There is thing called as Ashtanga Yoga, and there is thing called as Bhakti Yoga. So what does Bhakti means? Bhakti means love actually. Huh? So Bhakti means love. When there is love, there is also involved. When your mother loves you, what does she do for you? She cooks for you, right? Is that right? Why do mother cook? Yes, your mother cooks for you. Why does she cook for you? Because she's getting some money. She's getting any salary. Do you get any salary for cooking? No? How about you? Do you get any salary for looking after her? No salary? Everybody gets a salary for working. How about you?
My mom cooks because she loves us.
She loves you. Very good. That's very good. And so what is love? Love means, what does love means? Love means service. Right? She is serving you, right? She is serving your family. Right? So what is love means? Love means service. But what is that service about? That service is an unconditional service without any expectation, right? So mother is loving the family, so she serves you. So what does she do? She does laundry for you. Does she do laundry for you? Or do you do laundry?
Well, she does she does my laundry. I do.
You,
She does my laundry.
she does your laundry. Then she cooks for you.
Yeah.
She does shopping for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, how much work? Free of cost. How about you? Maya, what does your mother do for you? She does so many things for you. Yeah. Can you list three things she does for you? First one is
She cooks.
she cooks for you, okay. Then
She cleans.
she cleans for you. Wow, house cleaning, very important job, right? And then third one, she drives for you. My God, that's a driver's job. That's a chauffeur job, right? Do you get any tips, any extra money, any tip, 2% trip for driving? No tips, right? So what does mother do for children? So she drives, she cleans, she cooks, she does laundry, she does shopping, and what else? When you are sick, what happens? She takes care of you. She takes you to the doctor. Then, you know, when you were little, she was changing your diapers. Or you forgot that?
I don't remember.
You forgot. You forgot about it. Mothers knows that, right? So mother does so many things for you. For what? For nothing. No salary, right? Can you do anything for someone without salary? So many things. 24 by 7, 365 days a year. Can you work without salary? No, of course not. Maya, can you work for somebody like that without any money, 24 by 7, 365 days a year, without any salary? So much labor work, cleaning, cooking, all tiring, laborious job, driving around. She doesn't care for herself. So that is called as, what is that called as? You don't know that is called as? That is called as? Okay, who wants to say? Help him. That is called as love. You understand that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Maya, do you understand the love? What does love mean? Love means service. Yes, go ahead.
I was gonna say with it, yeah.
Service without
Yeah, condition of no money.
without any expectation. Very good, very good. So bhakti, what does bhakti means? Bhakti means love, and what does love mean, Radhika Ben? Love means serving without any expectation, right? So when you say I love you, but I cannot do anything for you, what does that mean? I love you, but don't ask anything from me. What is that love? That is a bogus thing. There is nothing like that in the love. When you love someone means you can do anything for that person. You can die that for. Nothing like that. And what is the service without love called as? What is the service without love called as? It's called customer service. Right? Service without love is customer. You get the money and they give you the service. So when we love Krishna, when we love God, that is called bhakti. So bhakti means service. Bhakti is not an idle process. Bhakti is an active process. So the chapter 12 of Bhagavad Gita teaches us the ultimate aim of human life, which is Hare Krishna. Welcome. Welcome. What is the ultimate aim of human life? What is your ultimate aim?
The ultimate aim, I want
To be a doctor or to be
to be
engineer?
an astrophysicist.
Ultimate aim is astrophysicist. Very nice. Your ultimate aim is moksha. You run away from this world. That is the ultimate moksha. That's very good. How about you, Shelly? What is your ultimate aim?
My ultimate aim, do you know?
Oh, you don't know. That's a good answer. Okay, one request, Shelly, is that when we are sitting in front of Krishna, we don't stretch the legs for the Krishna. So you can sit on the chair if you like. Yeah. So what is the ultimate aim? Ultimate aim is what do you want at the end of your life? What do you desire at the end of the life? So at the end of the life, we all want something or other, but our ultimate aim for life, as she was telling, that we want to get out of this repeated cycle of birth, disease, old age, and death. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. So this whole chapter talks about how we can unite with Krishna and get out of this cycle. Okay. So there is a shloka here on the 12th chapter. Can I request everybody to repeat after me? Is that okay? 12.1 shloka. Is that okay? Arjuna Uvacha. Arjuna Uvacha. Evam. Evam. Satata. Yuktaye. Evam Satata Yuktaye. Bhaktas. Tvam. Parupashate. Bhaktasvam Parupashate. ये च अपि अक्षरम् अव्यक्तम् ये च अपि अक्षरम् अव्यक्तम् तेषां के योग वित्तमः तेषां के योग वित्तमः. So Arjuna is student of Lord Krishna. And Arjun, Bhagwan Krishna say, Krishna Pucha. Arjun is asking a question to Lord Krishna. He's saying here, Evam satata yuktaye bhaktastvam parupashate ye che api aksharam avyaktam tesham ke yoga vittamaha. So in the life, there has to be always a question. Without question, there is no knowledge. Right? If you have a question, then you can find some answers and then you can do discovery here. So Arjuna has a question. So before this 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna showed his Vishwarupa to Arjuna. And Lord Krishna demonstrated through chapter number 7 to chapter number 11 how Lord Krishna is there in every creation around us. When there is a creation, there is a creator. Yeah? Is that right? When I say this cell phone, which means somebody has made this cell phone. If I say this cell phone just dropped from the sky, is that true? No? It didn't show up from the sky. Somebody made it, right? When I say this remote control, it just all of a sudden popped up. Is that true? No. Somebody designed it or somebody made it. Is that correct? Similarly, when you see a beautiful flower and then people say, oh, it's just randomly came. Is that possible? When you see a beautiful mountain, beautiful birds, beautiful people around us, nature around us. Do you think all of the things, so many beautiful things which is creation, came without a creator? Is it possible? If I say this cell phone came without somebody making it, then you'll say you're a fool. Then how about those beautiful flowers? Can somebody say that those were just randomly designed and nobody made them? No, there has to be somebody who designed them. When there is a creation, there has to be a creator. When there is a art, there is an artist. Is that correct? When there is a law, there is a law maker. Right? Like say traffic laws. There is a traffic law here that you cannot drive beyond certain speed. So every country has different laws. Like in India, they drive right-hand drive in India. Huh? Have you been to India?
Yes.
When was the last time?
Like 4 years ago.
4 years ago. That's good. Now roads are much better. So in India they have right-hand drive. In Canada, left-hand drive. So every country has a different law. So which the law in India is made by? By the government of India, right? And law in Canada is made by government of Canada, right? Right. So when there is a law, there is a lawmaker. When there is a art, there is an artist. When there is a creation, there is a creator. When there is a law, there is a lawmaker, right? Nothing happens without a person, right? So here in this world, there are so many people who think that there is no God. Have you come across those people? Have you come across anybody who says there is no God? Yeah, there are quite a few people who say that there is no creator. They have less intelligence probably, or more intelligence, I don't know what to say. Then there are some people who say there is a God, but who has no form. So some people, they are called, who don't believe in the God, they are called atheist. Atheist. And then there are people who believe that there is a God, but they think that there is no form to the God. Now Hare Krishna. When you say there is no form, like say you have a form, right? You have eyes, nose, ears, right? Everybody has. Why do you have those? Because your parents had those, right? Huh? When you have a form, because your parents have a form. And then your parents have a form because their parents have a form. Everybody has a form, then the form. Can I say you have a form, but your father doesn't have a form? Is that okay?
No,
It's not okay. Why?
because if your father doesn't have a form,
Then how can I have a form, right?
yeah.
That's true, right? So when somebody says that there is a God, but God has no form. But if God has no form, then how come the creation has a form? Right? I'm the child of the God. They know that we are all children of God, but they think that God has no form. Then I ask them that what do you think? Who is God then? So they say God is a light, Brahma Jyoti. Have you heard about this before? God is a light. Yeah? Is that correct? God is a light?
No, it's not correct. It's God is form.
God has a form. Hare Krishna. Like see here in the window, you see the light, right? Brahma Kumari. Yes. I don't want to name anybody, but there are some people say like that. We don't want to name anyone. But you see, from the window there is a light coming. What is that light? Window light?
From the sun.
Sun, correct. So when the sunlight is coming through the window, and if I say that sun is only the light, sun has no form. Is that correct? What is the form of sun?
It's a circle.
It's a round disk, right?
Circle.
It is a very hot planet, right? But I have only this much vision, and from this vision, I am guessing that the sun is only light. That is partly true, not completely true. Sun has light, but sun has a form also, right? Similarly, when some people say that God has no form, are they correct or they partly correct or they are wrong? Wrong. So they are partly correct because God has a light. भगवान के साथ में से ब्रह्म ज्योति निकलती है ना. So God has a light, but that is partly correct. But the complete identification of God is, if you have seen ever Krishna's picture, from the Krishna's body light is effulging. चक्र रहता है, ज्योति तेज. So here Arjuna is asking Krishna a question which is considered to be the most perfect, more perfect. Those who are always engaged in your devotional worship, or those who worship your impersonal form, the Brahman, unmanifested form. तो अर्जुन भगवान से प्रश्न कर रहे हैं. क्या प्रश्न कर रहे हैं? कि कौन सा मार्ग सही है जो आपको आपके रूप को भजते हैं, आपके स्वरूप को भजते हैं, आपके स्वरूप की पूजा करते हैं, या फिर जो कहते हैं कि आपको कोई स्वरूप ही नहीं है, आप इसकी एक शंका का निराकरण करिए, है ना. ऐसा प्रश्न आ सकता है. जैसे कि आप देखते हैं कि काफ़ी सारे धर्मों में, many religions, they believe that God has no form. And then when we worship Krishna, they say you are doing idol worship. हम जब मूर्ति की पूजा करते हैं तो क्या कहते हैं? आप पत्थर की पूजा कर रहे हो. हमें मूर्ख समझते हैं लोग. They say that you are mad, you don't know anything. So Arjuna is asking this question directly to Krishna because probably at that particular time also there were so many people like that who were thinking that God has no form. But as I said, scientifically also, when there is a creation, there is a creator. When there is art, there is an artist. Right? When you say Mona Lisa's picture, whom do you remember? Leonardo da Vinci, who drew the picture, right? Mona Lisa. You know the famous picture of Mona Lisa? Who is the artist? Leonardo da Vinci, the world famous artist. Similarly, when you see a beautiful mountain or a beautiful tree or a very beautiful bird, don't you think that there has to be some person who designed that? There has to be a person, right? So Arjuna is asking Krishna that, hey Krishna, please tell me, is it okay to worship you in a personal form, or those people who are worshipping you in an impersonal form are correct? So at that time, this is the question: to worship Krishna's human form or impersonal form, right? So this is a very important question because there is some culture, like say Islam, for example. Islam, they believe that God has no form. And then, as you rightly said, some sampradayas in Vedic culture also, they believe that God has no form. So भगवान कृष्ण को सीधा प्रश्न किया गया है. क्या प्रश्न किया गया है? What is the question? What is the question?
Krishna was like, if the person is devotee of I thought the question was like if you're a devotee of Krishna in like a personal sense.
Very good, very good. So, like say we are worshipping here Krishna in the form. What is the Krishna's form here? In the form of a deity, right? This deity is, you see that Krishna's deity there? Krishna is standing next to Radharani, and then how is Krishna standing with the flute in his hand? Dikh raha hai Bhagwan? Can you see that? And then here is Lord Ram. You know Lord Ram?
Yeah.
And then next to him is Lakshmana, Sita, Hanuman, then Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra. Right? So, is this okay to worship, or we are doing something wrong? Because people say you're doing the stone worship, idol worship. So are we idol worshippers, or are we fools, or are we incorrect? तो भगवान को ये प्रश्न किया गया. किसने प्रश्न किया भगवान को? अर्जुन ने प्रश्न किया, क्योंकि काफी लोग हमें भी ये प्रश्न करेंगे. तो हमारे लिए भगवान को अर्जुन पूछ रहे हैं. Krishna, Arjuna is asking to Krishna for the benefit of us. So what is Krishna saying? Krishna is saying, Shri Bhagavan Vacha Mayaveshya Mano Yema Nitya Yukta Upashate Shraddhaya Parayopetas Te Me Yukta Tamo Mataha. So भगवान अर्जुन को कह रहे हैं कि हे अर्जुन, those who fix their mind on my personal form, and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith, are considered by me to be most perfect. तो भगवान क्या उत्तर दे रहे हैं? जो मेरे रूप की पूजा करते हैं, तो वर्शिप मी माई पर्सनल फॉर्म विथ ग्रेट फेथ. हाँ, तो कुछ लोग जो भगवान को हमारी मूर्ति है भगवान की, उसको कहते हैं कि ये क्या है? आइडल है, आइडल. कुछ लोग डॉल कहते हैं, किसी को नहीं आते हैं तो बोलते हैं कि डॉल. तो हमें थोड़ा सा लगता है कि क्या है. देखिए इसमें कैसा है, दिस द डिफरेंस बिटवीन अ स्टोन एंड द डीटी. भगवान की डीटी जो है दैट कैन बी मेड आउट ऑफ स्टोन, दैट कैन बी ऑफ मेटल, जैसे कि वहां पे गौड़ निताई का डीटी है वो मेटल का है. देन जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा डीटीज आर मेड अप ऑफ वुड. Or sometimes you may have a picture of Lord Krishna in the form of a paper. Now, what is the difference between this paper of Bhagavad Gita and the regular paper? Or paper of Quran and a regular paper? Or a paper of Bible and a regular paper? Or a paper of Granth Sahib and a regular paper? What is the difference? Like if you know, in Sikhism they worship Granth Sahib. मालूम है? In Islam they worship Quran. In Christianity they worship Bible. All these are papers. So what is the difference between the regular ordinary paper and the Quran paper? What is the difference? It contains world's highest knowledge. Okay. What is the difference between Granth Sahib paper and the regular paper? What is the difference between the regular stone and the deities? That is the same question I'm asking. कुछ लोग कहेंगे कि भगवान पत्थर है. वही जो लोग जो कहते हैं कि आप पत्थर की पूजा कर रहे हैं, तो हम कहेंगे आप पेपर की पूजा कर रहे हो. What is the difference? I will give you an analogy. If you take a post office here, you have Canada Post as a post office box. What is the color of the post office box? Usually red color. That red color box is written Canada Post, and if you drop the letter, what happens? Like say you write a letter to your friend in India, and you drop in that box which says Canada Post Office box, and you drop it. What will happen to the letter? Letter will go to India. But suppose I myself designed a box exactly like that Canada Post Office box. I write Canada Post and everything, and then I put next to my house, and people drop the letter. What will happen? Nothing will happen, or something will happen. अगर आप लेटर डालेंगे तो कहाँ जाएगा वो? यही रहेगा, कहीं नहीं जाने वाला है. क्यों? Why? Why is that? Even though it is looking exactly like the Canada Post Office box, but it is not authorized by the authority, by the government, right? So both the boxes look similar, but one box is authorized, another is not. A stone may look similar like the stone, deity stone. What is the difference? Through worship, through mantras, through Pancharatrika Vidhi, this stone is nothing but Krishna himself. This is an authorized representation of Krishna, because we have done a Prana Pratishtha ceremony, we have an installation ceremony. So even though the deities may be made up of stone or metal, they are not regular metal or stone. As I said, Bhagavad Gita paper is not a regular paper. Regular paper you will throw in the garbage. Can you throw this? You will die. People will curse you. You can't do that with Quran, you can't do with Bible, you can't do that with Granth Sahib, because that is authorized paper. By authorized by whom? By the words of Krishna, by the Guru, by the Acharyas, by the Parampara. Similarly, when we have deities being installed in the house, हमारे घर में भी हम पूजा करते हैं, है ना? तो deities जो है, भगवान की मूर्ति जो है, that is not a regular stone or metal or a paper. वो भगवान स्वयं खुद है वहां पे. लेकिन हमारा विश्वास इतना कच्चा पक्का है, we don't even trust. जो भगवान में विश्वास करते हैं उनका भी भगवान में विश्वास नहीं होता है. Those people who believe in the God, they also don't believe in the God. How is that? जब हम भगवान की मूर्ति, जब आपके घर में मूर्ति है, you have Krishna's, what deities you have at home? All deities. How about you? सब कुछ है आपके घर पे, भगवान है आपके घर पे, है आपके घर पे, सबके घर पे भगवान का मूर्ति है, प्रतिष्ठा किया है, भगवान की पूजा करते हैं, दिया लगाते हैं, है ना? So what is the difference? So when we consider that deity as God himself, अगर भगवान आपके सामने खड़े होंगे तो वो यही रूप है. हमारी जो आंखें हैं, our eyes, our nose, our ears, these are material, और भगवान अलौकिक है. तो दिव्य दृष्टि चाहिए भगवान को देखने के, लेकिन हमारे ऊपर कृपा करके भगवान पत्थर के रूप में प्रकट हो गए हैं, क्योंकि हमारे पास वो दिव्य दृष्टि नहीं है. जैसे कि भगवान ने अर्जुन को भगवद गीता में दिव्य दृष्टि दी, तो भगवान अर्जुन को दिखे, लेकिन हमारे पास वो दिव्य दृष्टि नहीं है. सो देन कृष्णा हैज बीन काइंड इनफ टू अपीयर एज अ stone in the form of deities. Now in the past there are many histories, many incidences, many devotees who have experienced or who have talked with the deities. Have you heard the story of Mirabai? What is the story of Mirabai? When she was given a poison, she gave that milk with the poison to the deity of Krishna. And what happened? Krishna removed the poison from the milk. There is a great story of a Sakshi Gopal. If you go ever to Orissa, आप अगर कहीं उड़ीसा जाएंगे तो वहाँ पे एक मंदिर है. कौन सा मंदिर है? साक्षी गोपाल का मंदिर है. So this story of Sakshi Gopal is that the deities actually talked and walked. भगवान की मूर्ति आपसे बात भी कर सकती है और चल भी सकती है, लेकिन आपकी श्रद्धा कितनी है उसके ऊपर है. कभी कभी भगवान के जो भक्त हैं, जो पुजारी रहते हैं, अगर आप अपने घर में भी जो भगवान है उनकी मन लगा के भक्ति करेंगे तो वो भगवान आपसे बात करेंगे, 100% गारंटेड, उसमें कोई शंका नहीं है. It has been happened in the many incidences. I will tell you one incident where Sakshi Gopal, if you go India, Orissa, there is a temple of Sakshi Gopal. Now this Sakshi Gopal is the temple of Krishna, Gopalji, Krishna with the flute. Originally this Gopalji's temple was in Vrindavan, but now where is it? In Orissa. How is that happened? How the deities moved from Vrindavan to Orissa? The story of that, as mentioned in a book called Chaitanya Charitamrita, is that there was one Brahmana who was a great devotee of Lord Krishna, and he wanted to go for pilgrimage, yatra. So this Brahmana was old, like 75, 80-year-old Brahmana. So he wanted to walk all the way, because in olden times there were no planes or no trains or no buses. So if you want to go on pilgrimage, you have to walk. So he started walking towards Vrindavan, and he was staying in Orissa. So from Orissa to Vrindavan he walked all the way. But then along the path, as he was old, he needed some help. So he had a helper, a young boy, about 17, 18-year-old boy, Brahman, who was also walking with him, and he helped this Brahmana on the way. So whenever there was rain, he put the umbrella on him. He whenever he needed some water, he gave him a water, food. When he was sick, he was looking after that old Brahmana. So they became very good friends, and the walk was really long, for months together. So when they reached Vrindavan, they saw the darshan of this Gopalji. Gopalji is a beautiful deity of Lord Krishna, like this Krishna, standing with the flute. So when these both Brahmanas, one old and one very young, both of them reached Gopalji, they seeing Lord Krishna's face, they became very happy. Their all tiredness went away, because भगवान का दर्शन करके इतना अच्छा लगता है. आप कभी ध्यान से भगवान का दर्शन करिए, प्रेम से भगवान का दर्शन करना है. So when these both Brahmanas, they reached to the temple, and they saw this beautiful deity, their tiredness went away. And then they decided to stay there for a few more days because darshan was so beautiful. And then this old Brahmana, he became very happy with the service of this young Brahmana. He said, because of you, I could come all the way to Vrindavan and I could take the darshan of this Gopalji. I'm so happy that today my life is successful. So in exchange of this, I want to give you something. He said, what do you want to give me? He said, I have a daughter and I want to marry my daughter with you because you are very young and you are so humble, so honest. You are serving elderly so nicely. So you are an ideal candidate for my daughter. But this Brahmana said, I am very poor and you are very aristocratic rich. And if your family members comes to know that you have given your daughter to a very poor Brahmana, they may not agree. This old Brahmana said, no, don't worry. I will convince my family members and I will marry my daughter to you. So Brahmana said, but are you sure you are telling in front of Gopalji, Krishna? In the temple they are sitting and in front of deity of Krishna, this old Brahmana is telling to young Brahmana. What is he telling? What did he say? Very nice. Thank you, Risha. Very nice. Very nice. So this old Brahmana promised in front of Krishna, deity, which is made up of stone, that I will give my daughter to you. So he said, okay, if you are saying that, I accept it. And then both of them walked all the way back to Orissa, their own village. The name of the village is Vidyanagar. So they came back to Vidyanagar. And when this old Brahmana told his family members that I have decided to marry my daughter to this young boy, Brahmana, the elder son became very unhappy. He said, this boy is very poor and we are very rich, aristocratic, the family doesn't match. But then old Brahmana said, no, I have promised him that I will marry my daughter to him. So I cannot go away from the promise. He said, no, was there anybody witness to your communication? Old Brahmana said, yes, Gopal was the witness. Lord Krishna was the witness in the form of deity. Oh, that Brahmana's elder son said, oh, stone doesn't, that is not a witness. He said, why don't you tell that Brahmana that if the witness can come here all the way and gives the approval, then we'll marry our daughter. So this old Brahmana was really, he didn't want to do that because he was firm on his promise. But when his son was adamant, he said, okay, I will do that. And he went to this young Brahman and what did he say? He said कि मैं आपकी शादी मेरी बेटी से नहीं करा सकता हूँ. क्यों? क्योंकि मेरे घर वाले नहीं मान रहे. वो कहते हैं कि अगर भगवान कृष्ण जिनके सामने आपने वचन दिया है, if he comes and gives the witness, then only we will agree, otherwise not. So this young Brahmana, he didn't want to marry with the daughter. But he was really compassionate because when you promise in front of Krishna something and you don't do it, what happens? You get double the sin, paap, because you promised, भगवान को promise किया है और आप नहीं कर रहे हैं, तो इससे बड़ा तो पाप क्या हो सकता है ना? जैसे माता पिता से झूठ बोलना, to lie to your parents is the worst sin you can ever do. One should never lie to the parents. Why? Why should we not lie to the parents?
If you lie to the parents, it's a sin.
Because it is your loss. Because parents are not going to think bad for you. They're always going to think good about you, right? So when this Brahmana, young Brahmana thought that, oh, this old Brahmana has promised in front of whom?
Krishna.
In Krishna. And if you promise in front of Krishna and you break the promise, then you will be punished. So he was very compassionate towards this old Brahmana. So he went all the way back to Vrindavan. And he went to Krishna and he stood in front of Krishna. भगवान की मूर्ति के सामने खड़ा रह गया हाथ जोड़ के. क्या कहने लगा, हे प्रभु, I've come all the way back from Vrindavan to take you back because the family is saying that you have to witness our communication. This Brahmana had promised in front of you that he will marry his daughter. So when Krishna heard this, Krishna's deity started speaking to Brahmana. भगवान की मूर्ति बात कर सकती है, लेकिन आपकी भक्ति कितनी स्ट्रांग है इसके ऊपर है. As I said, this stone of Krishna is not an ordinary stone. Many of us think like that. अगर आपकी भक्ति स्ट्रांग है तो आपके घर में जो फोटो है ना, वो भी आपसे बात करेगी. लेकिन भक्ति वैसी चाहिए. लेकिन हमारी भक्ति कच्ची है. वी डोंट बिलीव इन कृष्णा. हाफ ऑफ द टाइम तो आपके घर में भगवान की मूर्तियां रहेगी, आप उनका ध्यान कितना रखते हैं? भगवान को भोग लगाते हैं रोज, भोग लगाते हैं रोज, आरती करते हैं रोज. आप करते हैं, भोग लगाते हैं. हमारे में से कितने लोग सुबह और शाम भगवान की, आपके घर में मूर्ति है, सबने बताया ना, सुबह और शाम कौन कौन आरती करता है? दोनों टाइम करते हैं. कितने टाइम भोग लगाते हैं? आप कितने टाइम खाते हैं? 3 टाइम. भगवान को कितने टाइम भोग लगाते हैं? महीने में 1 बार, दिन में 1 बार. आप 3 बार खाइए, भगवान को 1 बार खिलाइए, है ना? क्यों ऐसा होता है? जैसे आप सोते हैं तो भगवान को शयन कराते हैं? नहीं कराते. क्यों? क्योंकि हमें मालूम है कि वो स्टोन है, कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता है ना? ऐसे ही है ना हमारी बिलीफ. तो दैट इज व्हाई वी डोंट डू इट. अगर आपको लगा कि वो भगवान ही है तो फिर आप क्या करेंगे? अगर भगवान स्वयं आपके घर में आके बैठ गए, फिर क्या करेंगे? आप काम पे जाएंगे? फिर तो आप वहीं बैठे रहेंगे कि भगवान आ गए, हम कहाँ जाते हैं, है ना? फिर तो आप सुबह दोपहर शाम भगवान की आरती करेंगे. जैसे कोई मेहमान आपके घर पे आ गए, वीआईपी गेस्ट, तो क्या करते हैं आप? छुट्टी निकालते हैं. गॉट वीआईपी गेस्ट एट होम. सब जो ये आदित्य बिरला के सीईओ आ गए आपके घर पे, तो आप थोड़ा छुट्टी निकाल के उनको खाना देंगे. वैसे ही भगवान हमारे घर पे जो मूर्ति है उसका क्या करना चाहिए? हमारा विश्वास होना चाहिए कि वो भगवान स्वयं है. फिर क्या करना चाहिए? सुबह उठ के स्नान करके भगवान की आरती करना, अर्चना करना. फिर क्या करना? भगवान को भोग लगाना. सुबह दोपहर शाम को आरती. यानी क्या? बहुत इलाबोरेट भी करनी है. दिया लगाना है. कितना टाइम लगता है दिया लगाने में? 2 मिनट. अगर आप भोग नहीं बना सकते तो क्या करें आप? थोड़े फ्रूट्स ला के रख सकते हैं, फ्रूट्स कट करके फ्रेश करके भगवान. लेकिन हम करते हैं क्या? हम नहीं करते. क्यों? बिकॉज वी थिंक दैट इज पिक्चर. क्या करेंगे वो पिक्चर, क्या कर सकता है ना? वी सबकॉन्शियसली थिंक लाइक, यू नो मे नॉट बी थिंकिंग एक्टिवली, लेकिन हम लेजी है बहुत. वी डोंट बिलीव इन इट. जब आप मंदिर में जाते हैं तो क्या होता है? अब जब भी हमारे यहाँ मंदिर में आते हैं तो क्या होता है? हरे कृष्णा, वेलकम. मंदिर में आते हैं तो क्या होता है? मंदिर में सुबह आरती होती है, सुबह भोग लगता है, दोपहर को भोग लगता है, शाम को भोग लगता है, रात को भोग लगता है, आरती होती है, भगवान की ड्रेसिंग होता है, कंटिन्यूसली सेवा अर्चना होती है, कीर्तन चलता है, पाठ चलता है. तो फिर क्या होता है? भगवान वहाँ पे हाजिर हो जाते हैं. इसलिए आप जब भी तिरुपति बालाजी जाते हैं, लोग मन्नत रखते हैं. पीपल गो टू तिरुपति बालाजी, है ना? और क्या होता है मन्नत का? इट कम्स ट्रू एक्चुअली. व्हाई? Because you have firm faith in that deity. श्री श्री गौड़ीताई की जय, श्री श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जी की जय, श्री श्री राधा, श्री श्री जगन्नाथ, श्री श्री बलदेव, श्री सुभद्रा माता की जय, श्री गिरिराज धरण की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय. सो भगवान यहाँ पे अर्जुन को बता रहे हैं कि those who fix their mind on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great faith are considered by me to be Most perfect. So we're talking about that deity of Gopal in Vrindavan. તમારે જવાનું હોય તો વાંધો નહીં. પ્રસાદ છે પણ લઈ જજો. પેક કરી દેજો. So that Brahmana went to Gopal and started talking to Gopal that the old Brahmana had promised. And now he's saying that you have to come all the way and witness. But Krishna said, I am the deity, how can I walk? So Brahmana said that if you can walk, then you can talk also. अगर आप बोल सकते हैं तो आप चल भी सकते हैं. इसलिए फिर भगवान ने कहा ठीक है मैं आपकी इच्छा पूरी करता हूँ, आप आगे चलिए, आई विल वॉक बिहाइंड यू. तो भगवान ने कहा लेकिन आप पीछे मुड़ के नहीं देखना है, यू डोंट हैव टू लुक बैक, आई विल कीप ऑन वॉकिंग एंड यू विल हियर द साउंड ऑफ एंकलेट्स ऑफ माई फुट. तो भगवान चलते रहे और उनके पैरों की जुनगों के आवाज़ आती रही और वो भक्त है यंग ब्राह्मण वो आगे चलता रहा. एंड देन व्हेन इट केम टू विद्यानगर, at the border of this village, all of a sudden the sound of Krishna's step stopped. भगवान के एंकलेट्स की आवाज़ बंद हो गई. So Brahman was not sure whether Krishna is walking with him or not. And he all of a sudden looked back and what did he find? Krishna standing there. गोपाल जी डीटी भगवान की मूर्ति चल के कहाँ आई? वृंदावन से उड़ीसा तक. आज भी अगर आप जाते हैं उड़ीसा में तो भगवान की मूर्ति है वहाँ पे और वहाँ साक्षी गोपाल जी का मंदिर है. और वो जो गांव है विद्यानगर से दूर, उसका नाम भी, गांव का नाम भी साक्षी गोपाल है. The name of the place is also Sakshi Gopal. And I have been there, I visited the deities. It's a very beautiful deity of Lord. तो तात्पर्य क्या है? What is the message of this whole thing? Radhika, you've been here all the time. Some people came late. You want to convey the message to everybody? What is the message of the whole story?
Anything because you have faith in God, He speaks to you.
Very nice. The message is that when you see the Krishna in the deity form, don't think that this is a stone. जब आप भगवान की मूर्ति या भगवान का फोटो देखते हैं तो don't think that that's an ordinary paper. As I said, when you look at the picture paper of Bhagavad Gita or paper of Guru Granth Sahib or paper of Bible, don't think that that's an ordinary paper. Why is that so? Because this is authorized paper. 100 rupee का नोट है वो भी पेपर है ना. You have a currency note, that is also paper. Will you toss it? फाड़ के फेंक देंगे garbage में? Do you throw the dollar in the garbage? It's also paper. What is the difference between the regular paper and the currency paper? It's authorized. Authorized by government of Canada, right? Similarly, what is the difference between the deity and the regular stone? It is authorized through mantras. So that is why we do not consider the deities as an ordinary deities. भगवान की मूर्ति को stone नहीं समझना चाहिए. Don't think that it is an ordinary stone. Hare Krishna, welcome. Have a seat. We'll open the darshan in 20 minutes, 15-20 minutes. So everybody got the message? So first message is that God has a form. And what is the second message? The form can be of variety of types of forms. So Krishna is saying to Arjuna that to worship him has to be done in the form of a personal form. Lord Krishna further says to Arjuna, how can you be dear to Krishna? How can you be dear to everyone actually? Everybody wants to be a nice person, yes or no? Yeah, we all want to be nice, loving person. We all. So, what are the qualities of a devotee? What are qualities of a bhakta? Are qualities of a nice person? Huh? So, here in this shloka, there are some good qualities which are mentioned. If you really want to be nice, then what are the good qualities we should have? Virtues. So here is the shloka. It says, Advaishta sarva bhutanam maitra karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankara samma dukkha sukha kshami. So here Krishna is saying that if you really want to be nice or if you really want to be loved by Lord Krishna, then you have to be non-envious. Non-envious means that we should not be jealous of others. If somebody is doing good, what do? We appreciate them. Do not try to compete with them. We all are used to competition. But whom are we competing against? You have to compete with yourself rather than competing with others. When there is a jealousy, there is a competition. How come he is getting promotion and I'm not getting? How come he has more money than me? How come this guy just came to Canada and got a car? How is that possible? So this is called as enviness. Just thinking about something. Rather than that, we just think about that how I was yesterday and how am I doing today. So you can compete with yourself. Competition with yourself is better. In this world, everybody is by themselves. When we die, we came alone, and when we die, you go alone. There is nobody with you to compete. Did you compete with us? Anybody taking birth? I'm coming out first, you're coming second, like that. No. You're right? And while dying, do you compete with anybody? I will go first. No. Everybody is on their own. Everybody is their own quota. Your quota of happiness is decided. So don't worry. You will get it. Your quota of misery is also decided. You will get it. Everybody has a package deal. When you come to birth, what is it? It's a package deal. What is it package about? Some quota of good, some quota of bad. Everything is there. Nobody's graph is like this. Have you seen anybody always going like this? Anybody's graph flat? What does flat graph means? You are dead. Electrocardiogram, have you seen electrocardiogram? It goes up and then down and down. What does that mean? You are alive. As soon as it is flat, you are no more. So some people say that, okay, I do not want problems in my life. They come to God and say, oh God, please give me this, give me that. You have got your own quota. I can't change your quota, right? Everybody gets their own thing. So why should we be envious of others? If somebody has good, that is his quota. Somebody got $1 million, two people working in the same job, one gets promotion, one doesn't get. Two children born to the same parent, one becomes millionaire and one becomes poor. Have you seen that? One becomes prime minister and other doesn't have a job. Two children of the same father. Why? Because he has his own quota. It's called karma. Whatever karma you have done, you will get accordingly. Nothing more, nothing less. So we should not be envious. If somebody is more intelligent, he will get more because his quota is more, right? So that is the first quality. Then sarva bhutanam, which means that we should be kind or well-wisher of every living entity. Sarva bhutanam. Every living entity means not only humans but also animals. We kill animals left, right, and center. Nobody is punished for killing animals. But if you kill a human, you are punished. Right? Does anybody gets hanged for killing a chicken? No. But if you kill some human, you're done. So then you think that animals have no life. You don't respect animals. Is that correct? Yes or no? That what it means. You don't respect animals. There are human rights activists. They fight for the animals or human rights. Or one time I was talking to one of my friend. He came from Montreal. He was a doctor. And he said, I was driving from Montreal to Toronto, and I saw a dog on the road get in an accident, and I picked up the dog and I took him to the hospital. And he's narrated the whole story how he saved a dog. And I said, what a wonderful act of compassion you have done. And then next thing I saw him eating was animal meat on his plate. Right? So what sort of compassion is this? One way you saved the animal and now you're eating the same thing. So what a hypocrisy it is, right? What is it called? Hypocrisy. Huh? You're being kind at another and then the same animal being killed and now you're eating. So you have to be compassionate for everyone, not just only one animal and another animal is being killed. No, they killed cows. Cows were giving us the milk, and now they kill the cows like anything. In Canada is one of the country killing cows. Why should we kill the cows? Because they stop giving the milk. We consider cow as after mother's milk. Which milk a child gets is the cow's milk. Cow's milk gives you nutrition, brain development depends on the cow's milk. And now you're killing the same cow. So you're killing the mother actually, because it's the mother's milk, which is cow. So would you kill your mother if she becomes old? No, you look after your mother. Then why would you do that with animals? So Krishna is saying Advaishta Sarva Bhutana means we have to be kind to every living entity, even the insect, the bird, the reptile, even the plants. And that is why in our Vedic culture we worship plants. Some people say you are fools. We worship banyan tree. पीपल का पेड़ की पूजा करते हैं हम लोग रोज सुबह हम तुलसी आरती करते हैं तुलसी की पूजा करते हैं वी वर्शिप प्लांट्स well we are the most environment friendly culture probably we worship mother earth we worship river Ganga the whole world comes to Ganga आरती क्यों गंगा की आरती देखी है आपने कभी very opulent worship of mother Ganga what does that mean we care for mother nature right before building a house we do dharti puja even before digging what do? We worship mother earth we're saying that we are digging you in hole in you please forgive us that is called dharti puja so this is sarva bhutana which means that being kind to every believing entity then maitraha advaishta sarva bhutana maitraha karuna evacha Maitra, Karuna, and Advaishta, all these things go together. Actually, when you are compassionate, when you are kind, when you are friendly, then you can be compassionate. Hare Krishna. Then Nirmamaha. This is one of the good quality we should have. What does Nirmamaha means? Nirmama means proprietorship. Proprietorship or we all are always thinking that this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. We have all proprietorship. But ultimate proprietor of everything is who is the ultimate proprietor? Say you say that this is my building, but this building it does not belong to you. It belongs to bank because you have a mortgage, right? And this. Everybody says this is my house, but house is owned by the bank. Is that right or wrong? Everybody has a mortgage on the house. But they still say this is my house. As soon as you stop paying mortgage, what happens? You'll be kicked out of the house. Huh? But still you say this is my house, my car. Well, you're still paying installment. It's not your car. It's the finance company's car, right? So we say everything is mine, but nothing belongs to us. So everything actually in this material world, everything belongs to God, Creator, Krishna. So we have to understand this. When you go to a bank and you withdraw the money, how do you do that? You put a card Then what happens next? You punch the number, and then what happens? They will see whether there is a balance, and then the teller will give you the cashier will give you the money, right? When the cashier is giving you the money, does cashier say that this is my money, I'm giving it to you? No, right? He says this is your money, you take it, right? As the cashier doesn't claim it, similarly, all the resources in this world, they are owned by the creator, actually. And then for transient period, it comes in our hand. And then when we die, what happens? It goes into somebody else. It goes to somebody else. But still we claim that this is mine, this is mine. So we have to be understanding that everything which we possess is a temporary possession. When I came to Canada in 2001, I came with a loan of 4 lakh rupees. 4 lakh rupees was $10,000 at that time. So I had no money. I borrowed money from somebody else, right? And then I earned some degree and some qualifications, and then I have little money now. And then when I will retire, what will happen? I will not have any money probably, or maybe little money I have. So money was not there, now it is there, and then it will not be there in the future. So really I don't own anything. Everything is owned by Krishna. Nirahankara. Nirahankara means ahankar means ego. What is ego means? Ego means what is the difference between pride and ego? A sense of a good sense of wellness is pride, but a sense of where you feel that you are better than others, show off, yeah, that's called ego, right? And everybody of us have ego, right? Yes, sir. You don't have ego? Everybody of us have ego, right? There are two types of ego. One is true ego and one is false ego. What is false ego? False ego means that you, suppose I think that I am a Prime Minister of Canada. Is it true or false? True or false? That's false, of course. Right? Similarly, I start thinking that I am this body, this Sharira, is also false. We all are identifying ourselves with body, but our body is very temporary. It's going to die at any moment of time. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. But our soul, our Atma is permanent. What happens when we die? The Atma transmigrates to another body at the time of death. So the soul transmigrates to another body. So what is the true identity or a true ego? That I am a spirit soul. And what is the false ego? Identifying with body, that I am this Sharira. Like for example, I stay in this house and I say that this is my house. And then I come to your house and I understand this is your house, this is not my house, right? Similarly, we are all in this world as a temporary visitors. When you are in a train, what happens at the end of the journey? Say you're going from Toronto to Montreal by train. At the end of the journey, what do you have to do? You have to get down the train, right? You can't stay in the train forever. Similarly, as soon as our journey is over, what will happen? You have to give up this body. And this body might be very beautiful now, very young now, but after a few years, what will happen? This body, it will become old. It will be wrinkled. You won't be able to walk. You won't be able to sit. So identifying with the body is not true. Identifying with the soul is the real identity. And then sama, dukkha, sukha, equal in happiness and distress. When it is happy time, what do? We jump. And when the sad time, we are remorse, we are depressed. But considering happiness and goodness as the two sides of same coin, when you have a coin, there is head and a tail. Right? Can you have only head both the sides? It's not possible. Can you have summer throughout the year in Thunder Bay? I wish, right? But is it possible? No. Can you have winter throughout the year, whole season? That's also not possible in Thunder Bay, right? So there is going to be a winter season, there's going to be summer season, and there will be spring and there will be fall. But nothing is permanent, everything is temporary. So Krishna is saying that sama dukkha sukha kshami means that you have to be equal in good and bad times. You have to just be tolerant. As the good time is not going to stay, similarly, bad time also is not going to stay. So whatever it is, you take it as it is rather than judging it. Everybody is individual. Why should we judge others? He's a good, he's a bad, he's that. He has his own personality. Who are we to judge others, right? Or when the good time comes, so we say, okay, it's very good and bad time. Good and bad are equal sides of same coin, right? So when good times comes, we thank Krishna. Thank you, God, for giving me this good time. And what bad time happens, what do? We blame Krishna, we blame God. Oh, you are the one. Right? So what do we do when the bad time comes? Pray, okay. What else you can do? Suppose you lose the job tomorrow. What do? You try to find another job and try to find another job. And then you thank Krishna that Krishna, I'm trying my best. If it is good, you please give me. Some people they work very hard, but they don't get success immediately. That's okay. We should not get discouraged. We keep on trying. And then last one is kshami. Kshami means forgiving. We have to be forgiving to others. Don't hold grudges. If somebody says wrong to you, what do you do next? You say wrong to that person. And then another wrong comes. Keeps on continuing. More you do not forgive others, more you are doing harm to yourself. Because when we are angry, when we are disturbed, what happens? There is a hormone called as adrenaline being released in your body, which increases your blood pressure, which increases your heart rate, which increases your respiratory rate. It disturbs your whole body, right? So when somebody says something to you and you don't feel better, what do you do next? You pray to Krishna that Krishna give me the courage so that I can tolerate this condition. We can't change others. Can you change others? Gandhi used to say that be the change what you see in the want to see in the world, right? You can't say if there is raining outside, what can you do? Can you cover the whole sky? What can you do? You put the umbrella on yourself, right? You can't cover the whole sky. It's impossible. Similarly, when so many things are going on, you can't change everybody. Who are we to change others, right? You have some authority to change others? Are you like a boss of the world? You want to change others? No. You have to be forgiving and just be tolerant. Be kind to others. And if somebody asks you forgiveness, I'm sorry, I really made a mistake. Somebody says to you, what do you do next? Oh, see, अभी आया हूँ तो पहाड़ के नीचे, अभी इसको निकालो. Don't do that. Huh? If somebody is really, people make mistakes. Is anybody perfect here? Are you all perfect? We are, everybody is imperfect. But we all together are perfect. You have some good, you have some good. We all are together good. So Krishna is saying that just be forgiving, Kshami. If you want to be dear to God, you have to be dear to everybody else. Don't hate others. People hate others. I don't like that person. He's like that. She's like that. Then there is no chance. There is no chance. You have to love everybody as they are part and parcel of Krishna. If you love God, then you love God's creation also, right? If you love with Him and you don't love Him, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make sense because everybody is part of Krishna. So Krishna says that we have to be non-envious, we have to be friendly, we have to be kind, we have to be compassionate for everyone, every living entity. And then nirmamaha. Means you don't say this is mine, this is mine. Use it for some good cause. If you have some extra money, what do? Use it for some better cause. If you are earning $100 and you just need $50, then keep $25 for paying tax probably, because you have to pay tax, right? And the remaining 25, out of that you use 10 for your family, 5 for somebody else, and 5 you give to somebody who needs actually. Give some charity. If you're making $10, give at least 10 cents in charity. Somebody always needs some help. Always good to help. Nirahankara, always we should be free of false ego. Think that you're going to die one day, for sure. Every day we have to think that today is my last day. And what we are going to do if today is your last day? If I tell you tomorrow morning you're gone, what do you do the next? Do the best you can. You don't enjoy the best, you give the best. People say life is very short, enjoy. Life is very short, give your best to the world. What enjoyment is, you're just taking, right? And what is the best? Giving, right? When you give, what happens? Your hand is higher than the taker. When you are taking, you are the lower. What is better? Giving. When you give others, the joy of giving is different. If you feed others, you will not feel hungry, I guarantee you. I guarantee you. At the festival time, we have Festival of India. We have thousands of people, and literally, me and my wife, we don't eat for 2 days. Literally, we don't eat anything other than little water. And sometimes we eat something here and there, but no food, no lunch, no dinner, nothing. For 2 days, we are like that. But at the end of the third day, when we eat, we feel much better because the event is over. So many people had prasadam. We had a good time. The joy of giving is much higher than taking. Try to give something else to others. So, and then equaling happiness and distress. And forgiveness. The most important thing out of this is forgiveness. We should forgive others. Don't hold grudges. They say forgive but don't forget. Have you heard this before? Who are we to not forget? Forgive but not forget. Are you going to kill him or what? Don't do that. Don't hold anything in your brain against anybody. If somebody has done wrong, that is his ignorance. We try to be kind and help them out. Right? Okay. Any questions on this? We'll pause here. And Bhagavad Gita has wonderful knowledge. I highly recommend everybody should have a copy of Gita. Read one shloka every day, your life will be changed. So there's a Gandhi quote here at the back of the book. I'm going to read a quote. Gandhi says that when the doubts haunt me, when disappointments stare me in the face, and I see not one ray of hope on the horizon, I turn to Bhagavad Gita and find the words to comfort me, and I immediately begin to smile in the midst of overwhelming sorrow. Those who meditate on Gita will derive fresh joy and new meanings from it every day. So if you really want to freshen your day, then in the morning, when you get up, you do your exercise, morning puja, whatever you have to do, and then read one shloka of Bhagavad Gita. We read it Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam every day here. So in the evening we read Bhagavad Gita 7:30 to 8 every day other than the Sunday, and in the morning we read Srimad Bhagavatam. And on Saturday mornings from 11 to 1 we have Bhagavad Gita class here. Quite a few people come on Saturday mornings followed by the lunch. And then Sunday evenings also we do some readings. Thank you so much for joining us. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask. If not, then we'll do the Aarti ceremony. Any questions? No? Thank you so much. Anybody visiting us for the first time? You're visiting for the first time? What's your name? Kayla. Thank you so much for visiting us. Thank you. Anybody else? No, thank you so much. Okay. So we'll wait for the darshan to open up.